Well, good morning, everybody. It's Sunday, and what a beauty. What a beauty. Look at that sunrise. Isn't that gorgeous? It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous sunrise this morning. No wind, 48 degrees. Just out for my little walk. And I had a couple of people come up to me here, out to me, and come and see me and introduce themselves and recognize me on my channel, and I really appreciate it. Stop by anytime. I'll be glad to chat with you and pick your brains, get ideas, you know. But then I had couple of solar deals I had to go check out, and one of them had some loose wires on their charge controllers. He come up to me and says, he says I was charging, and all of a sudden it was I just happened to be looking at it, and it was, I'm going to be going down, it's kind of a deep wash here, so I hope I don't. Ooh. And he says, you know, I took and was charging. I just happened to be watching it, and it would fluctuate really bad. It was fluctuating. And he said, suppose you come over and check it out, you know, give me a hand. Well, sure, you know, that's what we do out here in the desert. That's not a problem. So I went over there, drove down there with him, checked it out, and I got about 5 feet from the camper, and I said, I know what it is. I've smelt it before. We opened up his compartment, and sure enough, his solar wires on his charge controller had came loose, and he was melting his charge controller and wire because of a bad contact. So he ended up having to go to town and get a new one, and I asked him to grab me a Phillips, and he did, and I checked the rest of them, and I got about an actual turn out of one of them and a half a turn out of another. So I told him, and I'm telling you guys, you have to check them periodically, your solar connections, for sure, along with the other connections in there, because what happens when they charge, wires get warm, they get in there, there's a whole bunch of little wires, right, and you pinch them. Well, then when it gets warm, they settle in, and now they basically get loose, and then shaking going down the road and coming across the desert, whatever, it all loosens everything up. So you have to check them things. I can't stress that enough. And he ended up going in and getting another charge controller. Luckily, it was just a small chunk of wire that got burnt, and we got that one taken care of. And then I took and had a young lady come up to me, I'm not mentioning any names, and she's gonna have me, I'm gonna go this way because of the sun again, so I'm gonna be squinting, but I don't want it shining in the camera. So we were sitting there, and she come up to me with her truck, and wanted me to know if I could help her get her solar panel mounted on that. So we're gonna do that next week, and we're gonna make it so it tips up for her so she can get decent sun. But yeah, that's what we do out here in the desert, folks. Kind of help everybody out, because what goes around comes around. you know, and you don't have to scalp anybody, you know. You're retired, you're out here to have fun, make new friends, and if you can help each other out, that's what we do. So, and then I gave another gal advice. She has solar on her rig, and I think we're just going to go with a foldable rich solar panel on that one. That's about as much boost as she needs, and she can pop it out anytime she wants this time of year, you know. But man, this is a beautiful morning. What a beautiful morning for a walk. And we went up to Pimosa Road, and I gave you kind of I got that on the video. I'll give you a kind of a detail description on how to get there from Quartzsite. But that's pretty empty up there up in Pimosa. There's hardly anybody up there. So there's some information for you. And you can ride a four-wheeler up there if you want to. You know, just like down here and the rest of the LTVA and the BLM stuff. But that's a 14-day limit up there in Pimosa, just like Roadrunner, you know. So that's something you might want to take into consideration. And then after I get done with my walk today, we're going to be going to town. Deb says she needs some peanut butter because Christmas is coming. So she's going to do quite a bit of baking, I guess. You know, she likes giving cookies away and stuff out here. And they have peanut butter uptown at that discount grocery store. And it's in date. And I think it's the bigger jars. It's 4 of them for $10 on a flat. And then they have really, really good tuna, and that's the only place I can find it, is that place. It's a white yellowfin tuna that is whole fillet tuna fish. So it's not that mush in a can, you know, like Starkist has. It's just all mushy. You know, the ground. This is the whole fillet chunk in there. You know, it's just a slice of it, and it is so nice and white and firm and really good. And I'm gonna go up there and see if they got more of it. 2 years ago we were down here. We bought 2 cases. And I was up there a week ago, and they had 2 cans. So I've got to go up and check that out. And I don't know what else I'm going to get into. I think I'm going to go over to Citgo. They have fuel there for $3.53 a gallon, I believe, for diesel. So I'm going to run over there and get that. And then next week we start on Rob's, and we're gonna do some filming on that for Rob's solar system, and that'll be a fun one. You know, Rob's a good guy. We're gonna have fun, and he's pretty excited. So we can get rid of all that other stuff he's got going on there. Put some Vectron stuff in there. Make that thing talk. I'm gonna put 880 on the roof. So, and he's gonna keep a couple foldables. He was talking about getting rid of them, but I told him, I said, hey, you know, the sun this time of year, let's keep them. You know, you can't never have too much power, right? So, yeah, I'm just out for my daily walk, seeing if I can get in trouble, chit chat with people, whatever. But yeah, 7:30 in the morning, we're out for our walk, and we'll get back at you if we find something interesting. I did find something interesting the other day, and I'm gonna do a video on it. I don't know if anybody's gonna give a diddler's hoot, but we found some real neat, special, kind of neat rocks. I kind of gave you a taste of it a while back, but we've been going in these areas out here where there's not a lot of traffic, and I found one, and it comes up on Google. Couldn't put a finger on it. Google didn't know exactly what it was. It just said it was old. Well, a lot of rocks are old, right? And it said it could be a fossil-like. So I took a picture with ChatGTP, and that one came back as fossil-like crystallite or some stupid thing. I can't remember, but it's kind of white, and then it's got a rock that comes out of it, and it's really smooth in two areas, and another rock coming out of it, and it says it's a fossil that could be very old, up to 2,000-year-old fossil. And when you shine that light that I have on it, it has some pretty interesting stuff in it. So I'm gonna put that out there. You let me know if you want me to. Let's do it this way. You let me know if you want me to show you these rocks. I've got some with gold. Yeah, let me know if you want me to make a video of that. And if I don't, hear a lot or whatever, if I hear some input on it, we'll have a video on that. Because we got quite a little stack that we have been out collecting, and yeah, it's interesting to us. And if nothing else, our kids are going to get a kick out of it. But that last one I found is a real interesting rock. So just to show you, you don't have to have, you can have anything to come out here in the desert to boondock. There's Class A diesel pushers, big ones. Matter of fact, you're gonna see, let me turn this around so you can talk to me, because the people want to talk to me. So we'll try turning this around. There we go. Sometimes that thing just doesn't turn around decent. Anyhow, you can camp with anything out here in the desert, or you can boondock, let's just say, with any kind of a rig. I just went by a car back there that they just converted an SUV into a camper, tore everything apart and made it into a camper. And if you're interested in boondocking, I wonder if we can go this way. Yeah, we're getting some sun, but I can hold the camera this way. How's that? If you're interested in boondocking, okay, and I know a lot of people are, because I get questioned steady on boondocking. So if you're interested and you're out here in near Quartzsite or in the area 50, 100 miles away, and you want to figure out how to do it, here's the best way to do it. You don't have to go to the RV show. Just come out to the LTVA and drive around and see what's all out here. Stop and look at some of these conversions. It's totally okay with everybody usually. You want to look at their camper, you know, how they did their camper work and what they did. Man, I'll tell you what, they'll do it. They'll show you. Trust me. Here's one over there. It's a converted ambulance. And then we got somebody in a tent right here. And they probably sleeping in the back of their car, but they got a tent. And over on, camera turned, sorry. On this side, there is just a cargo trailer, and he's got a mini split on the front with solar on top. There's a Class A, a fifth wheel. So there is a breed of different camper, different styles out here. My best advice is you don't have to talk to people, you can, but if you're want to take a couple hour drive or whatever, you know, come down for pizza, 3-hour drive, whatever, go to the Quartzlight show, stop out here at Pimosa South or one of the other ones and just pull in here and drive around. You will see every kind of coach imaginable, every kind of camper imaginable, every kind of build imaginable. It's crazy, man. I'm telling you, I have seen stuff that I never thought would be a camper. You know what I mean? These people build this stuff and they just let their minds run wild, and they come out pretty neat, you know. But I just thought I'd toss that in there because it's pretty important information, I think, if you really want to, and you're serious about it, get some ideas, you know, because you don't want to jump into boondocking feet first without having a clue on what you're going to need, you know. There's people that come out here and you know, they have to tear their rig down because they don't have a big enough black tank, or, you know, the rig didn't come with one that, you know, it only had a 20 or 30 gallon black tank and a real small water tank, and they didn't bring an extra water bladder or a boo boy, you know. So here they are tearing their rig down steady, you know, until they get in town and go buy something for it. But yeah, it's just an idea, folks, and I hope you have a blessed Sunday, and God bless you, and have a great day.